Hello everyone. Well, we're back and it's another rainy day. The positive side is everything's getting more water, including my rain barrels. It's not raining very heavy, just a light rain. The blooms on the peach tree are out in full force. Looks like some new growth over here. And here it is, our Rheingold over here, right beside our eastern red cedar. We'll take a look at him probably next. Anyways, I've left this outside over this last day and a half actually, out in the rain and kind of milder weather, around 10 or 15 degrees. It went down to 7 degrees overnight last night, so it wasn't terrible. And I think today's supposed to go back up to about 13 or 14 degrees Celsius, so that's not too bad. So things, even just over this last day, it's hard to believe, but I even see things a little greener up on top. I don't know if you guys can or not. Maybe we just didn't see that in the garage on the bench there, but I really believe it's gotten greener up here just in the last day and a half. And here it can happen that fast, especially in the spring at this time of the year. Okay. Let's take it on the bench and we'll take it out of the pot and we'll continue on with our work. Well, we're back in the garage on the bench, out of the rain. And I think it's definitely gotten a little greener just in the last day and a half. Just like the grass and the leaves on the trees, they just get greener and the leaves open up even further day by day. So it's just amazing. A couple days ago, some of the leaves on the some maple trees were just buds, and now they're already halfway open just within 2 days. So right now it's just amazing the changes that can happen over a short time. Yeah, some of that foliage has definitely gotten greener. It's incredible. Okay, well, let's get it out of the pot now. I don't know about you guys, but I'm already getting kind of tired of seeing that sales sticker. It'll be nice to see that gone. All right, let's get it out of the pot and we'll see what's going on with the trunks and the roots. Well, it's not too bad. We've got the roots that kind of grew around the outer edge of the pot, but it still feels a little soft in the inside, so we're not, we did get this at a good time actually. Let's take away some of the bottom here. Yeah, it's not as badly root bound as what I thought it was going to be. We got a rock in there. Yeah, we got this at a good time, so this isn't bad at all. Now we can try to start raking it out up near the top. It is quite dense with some roots at the top here near the surface. I think I'll get my root hook out. I don't use this too often. I don't get into large root balls that often because all my trees are small, most of them being young. I think it's my first time using my root hook on a root ball this size. Okay, well, we're going to go wash the roots out now. Wow, this, I mean, unless the roots are all bound together, that, it's definitely tight anyways. Well, we'll get a better view of what's going on here after I wash the roots out. So I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, well, here's what we're left with. So we will have some root work to do, obviously. And I was looking at this, and I believe that it probably was, at one time, 2 separate trees here. But they've either fused together or the roots are very, very tight. Tightly grown together here. Well, I thought of keeping them together and growing it as a double trunk or clump style. If I did go that route, keeping them together, you know, if we look at the back here, if we went with this for a front, let's say, because we would either want, likely, this side as our front, or we could come off on some angles. But I would want to see both trunks at least. So if I was to keep these together, I would more than likely be getting rid of this side branch, that's for sure, this larger one here. I think no matter what I do here, this one's going to be too low. So let's take that off right now, because here I get a really good view of our root plane. And at best I can come down to here. I'll likely be taking these off here. And this is still kind of really close to the ground level there. Well, what would be the ground level? I guess our soil level. Well, let's take this root off of here first. Okay, so there's our root gone. See, if I was to keep these double trunks, no matter almost no matter what front that I would like here, we would be removing a lot of branches. I don't really care for this view on this side at all. So if we start to come over to this side here, as I was saying before, I would definitely want to get rid of this great big branch here so that I could see this other trunk better. We could do that. The other thing is, if I was to break them up and plant them separately, if we can just take this for a moment here and straighten our trunk, I could use this as a side branch. I could keep this as a side branch and we could bring it away back here. And it's not easy. I think if I was going to go with the double trunk, if I was going to continue growing this as a clump style, let's say, I think I would remove this large branch here off to the side. And we would almost have to remove this lower branch also. So that we can have the view of the second trunk over there by removing this. And this one here, I would want to be removing this branch here because obviously, I mean, it's just jabbing us just looking at it here. Or we could separate the trunks and I could we could go with a single tree, and I could plant, break them up and plant the other tree kind of beside it. So I could do that. The only thing I don't like is this branch here. It is fairly large. I think what I'm going to do, because either way, this branch is either going to come off, or if it stays on, I'm going to be bringing it away back here. So if I was to keep this as a single tree, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring it away back. Let's bring it back to here for now. What we can do is bring it back a little bit further to here. I think what we'll do is we're going to take this back to here. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the trees here. There's there's some good points and bad points of going either way here. By keeping these as a double trunk, for me, I'm going to end up losing a lot of branching off of this larger tree over here, which I really don't want to do. Yeah, no matter which way I look at things here, I'm definitely not looking back here as a front at all. So I think I am going to separate them, and I may just plant them in the same pot, at least for now. And I think, yeah, I'm going to separate them. At least with this here, I can keep a lot of the limbs on this tree that I have right now. And we'll work with that for now. If I go with a double trunk, I'm going to be removing a lot of my main limbs here that I presently like. Yeah, so I'm going to be separating them. And so far I'm kind of, liking this for now as a front, at least for this tree here. So if we straighten the trunk out, it's going to look something like that. And I was debating whether this branch here was too low, but it's looking like it could be at a decent height. From our soil level there, I can keep this branch going out the back. And also, you know, we're going to look at refining this a little bit better here, but I can also keep some of the side branches over here. And we'll have another look at this one here after we separate them. Okay, well, here goes nothing. Let's hope that I don't do any damage. I think it is just bound together by the roots. We'll try to work it off there a little carefully. I just don't really want to rip it off. Yeah, I think we're mainly bound together by the roots here. I'm going to get my root hook back out, and we're just going to... Boy, these roots are pretty knotted up. I don't want to go ripping on them too much. You can see down there where they were joined, where a couple of the roots fused together. But we are coming apart now. There we go. It's coming. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm glad it wasn't that bad. Yeah, so you can see here, we were joined near the bottom here. Okay, well, I'm going to go back out and give these roots one more rinsing because I'm just found some more soil up and around the roots here, so we're just going to go get rid of that last little bit and then we'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. We're really cleaned up good. I think I've already picked out a front for this tree here. I'm thinking right around there. I mean, it needs more refinement, obviously, especially in the future. But that's just roughly what I'm going to start with. So I'm going to keep this lower branch down here. Actually, before I even go ahead with pruning the roots off here, I'm just going to go and clean things up a little. We're going to take this off right here. Actually, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to spin the tree here a little bit. So you can see here, I guess it would be from the right side of our tree. That wouldn't really make a great front. I would have to take all these branches off on the side. There's really nothing happening. No branches presently on the sides of the trunk from this view. If I come to the left, here's a view of the left of the tree from the front that I currently want. We could go with this one. This one wouldn't be too bad. I could remove this branch here and utilize these side branches over here. Keep this one out here and this one. That wouldn't be too bad. Now if we come from, sorry, that was the back side. Yeah, that was the back side. So this is our left side. And just like the right side, I mean, I would have to remove all these side branches here, and I really wouldn't have nothing coming out of either side of the either side of the trunk here. So for me, for now at least, you never know far into the future, but for right now, I think this is the best way to go. I am going to clean this cut up here a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Okay. Another thing is, we're just going to shorten things up on these outer branches here. We're not going to take things too far back because I want to leave some, we're going to leave some nice green foliage on it. I'm actually not even going to touch this. So hopefully we can just get some newer growth back here so I can prune it back further. Same thing here, we're just going to take this back a little bit. These are dead anyways. Okay. Another thing we're going to do, we're going to clean this up. So coming here with the branch pruners, actually I'm going to, where we made one of our cuts here, I'm just going to really clean that up too. Take that knob off of there. There we go. We'll just kind of blend it in here a little better. So yeah, so that's going to be the front. Quite scraggly looking right now, but I'm setting it up for the future. I mean, this is just the very beginnings. So what we'll do now is we'll start working on the roots. So we'll finish this tree and then we'll take a look at the other one. Okay. The first thing we're going to do, you can see the roots. They come out and then they turn straight down. So we're just going to simply come in here and we'll cut them off at where they start to turn down on us. This one's a little high, so I am going to remove it. Now we got one that's coming out of here and growing right over this one. It's like a snake. Imagine it's up in here. There we go. And we got that one out of there. Wow, this one's really turned down here. Just come in here and cut it off there. We'll take this one off. It's growing out and back towards the tree. The rest of this looks nice. This one looks all right. We'll get rid of this one here. This one's kind of, that one comes out and zigzags. This one's actually coming up from the bottom here. We'll just trim that off. We'll come over to the next one here. This one's looking pretty good. We're just going to take it off here. And coming around, here's one that comes out and goes straight down. So we're going to try and untangle it here. Actually, I'm gonna we'll just cut it off right here. Come up a little bit higher. There we go. And we got one right beside it here that you can see is coming out, and it's growing down and curling underneath our tree. We're going to get rid of these roots that are growing up here on the trunk. You can see this one comes down and then takes off here, so we're going to bring that back to here. Now, normally I would like to take this right back to the base of our trunk and trim off all these downward facing roots. But if I do that, we're really not going to have anything left at all. So we're just going to have some patience. Cut this one back here. Thought about cutting these two off here, but I think I'll leave them there for now. Yeah, you can see here, I would really like, looks like this was a cutting. First of all, there is no taproot, unless it was cut off at one time, but I think this was a cutting. We have a root plane down here, and then we have another one up here. The problem is, we do have a fair amount of feeder roots coming off of this root plane down here. Well, we're going to take this off anyway because we should do something about this now. So it's coming off. I guess it wasn't a lot, but there was still a fair amount of feeder roots that were on that were coming off that, small fibrous roots. Doesn't leave us with a lot at all. But then again, we don't have a lot of foliage left up in our tree here, so hopefully it'll we'll kind of balance things out, and both the top and the roots here can catch up with each other. Okay, at least we have one root plane now. I feel better about that than leaving that go for another couple of years. I don't like these here really. Actually, I will leave them for now, and we will see if we get some roots that'll continue growing out of the front here. What I'm going to do though is I am going to shorten this one up just a little more here. There we go. There. That looks a little better. So I'll be bringing our soil line up over these roots. So definitely won't be exposing them right now, so I didn't trim that back for looks, but just so I can get that root going in a better direction. So if I get some new growth coming off of that root, I can continue growing it. Straight out from our radius. Okay, well, that's it for this tree. All right. So our other tree there, I just put it in some water for now, and it'll be fine until I go to plant these. Okay. Well, I haven't established a front for the tree yet, but we'll take a look at that in a few minutes here. Let's get the roots done here, and then we'll take a look at that. So the first thing, looking down near the base here, yeah, you're seeing what I'm seeing. You know, this great big root that's kind of growing off to the side here over the one other root that's growing on our root plane there. So you can see here that we're already starting to establish a root plane down here. As we turn the tree, there's a couple more over here. So coming back over here, this just doesn't make sense to keep this, and it doesn't even look good. So we're definitely going to remove this root here. There we are. We'll just clean this up here. And just like the other one, we've got the very bottom of the trunk sitting down here. So just take that off. Okay, this is actually not terrible. What we'll do is we'll come back over here. Now when I go to pot this up, I'm going to try and we'll keep this root up like this when I pot it. Now when we took these apart, hopefully we didn't damage this root too much. What we'll do is we'll leave a little bit more on it. We're only going to come back to here for now. I would like to come back to about here, but we'll leave this extra on there with these extra feeder roots. This one here, same thing. I'm gonna put some pressure on this when I go to put it on top of my soil. We're going to take this root back to here. We're just going to shorten up on these ones here a little bit. We'll get rid of this one. It's coming out on the side like that. Same thing, we can plant it with some pressure on that. When I go to put it on top of the soil, that'll bring that root up more horizontal. So I'm just going to cut this back to here where the root becomes straight. We'll just take some of these little feeder roots off the top here so they don't get carried away and grow big on us. Over here, same thing. I'm just going to cut this back a little further. There we go. That's better. This one over here, that's a really nice root. It's a nice start. Yeah, really good. Not much left to cut underneath here. We got a couple that are growing out the bottom here, but nothing major and nothing that we can't work with right now, so that's good. Well, that's not too bad, at least for now. Well, what we'll do is we'll establish a front now, and then we'll look at potting them up. And I think I'm going to pot them up together. So that's what we're going to do for now. Okay. Well, we're right out front here. I really haven't had a chance to look at this at all. Now I'm trying to visualize this without all this foliage out the front here. Just looking in at the main structure. Now I don't think I want this as my front. Not necessarily because of the scar, but just there's really nothing else out here right now from this side, out from either side of the trunk. So I don't think we're going to look at that. This isn't too bad. Boy, the lighting's not that good, is it? Same thing with this side of the tree, so I definitely wouldn't be going this way either. It just really, that would never, for me anyways, that would just never really suit to be the front. I'm kind of thinking of going with this. And we'll get rid of some of these branches up here. Because this way here, the top actually, it comes straight up and then it actually starts to grow back this way towards us just a little wee bit, which is kind of nice too. You guys probably can't see that, but if I hold it here, you can see it goes up there and then back out towards our left there. So I do like that. Yeah, let's take off some of these branches here. And then you guys will have a better see at what's going on. Yeah, I don't want that. This one's dead by the looks of things. Now we're going to keep this on here. That looks a little silly right now, but we're going to keep that on there. We have some new growth up here, so hopefully we'll get something back here further that we can cut back to. But for now, we're going to leave things go. It'd be nice if we could get something coming off of here and some new growth and coming out a little bit lower. But for now, we'll go with that. We'll bring this back. This one grows right out towards us, so we're going to get rid of it. Yeah, we got everything almost back as far as I want it for now, without taking too much of a risk in losing our branches here. So we can take things back a little more up here, but not a lot. There we are. I think we'll take this off. That looks like it's dead. Okay, well, we're getting there. I hope I'm not boring you guys to death. Oh, geez. Well, I'm having fun. Okay. I think we'll shorten this up here too in the back. We'll shorten this up on top. We're still going to keep some green foliage on there, so we don't want to be killing off branches here. I'm experimenting still with this tree. Well, as you guys know, because I haven't had one of these before, so we have to see how it responds to some major pruning here. That one's growing too close to our trunk there. Yeah, I kind of like that. And I think we're going to go with this being our front. Yeah, I'm going to leave this go like this. And this is going to be our front somewhere down in here. Okay. Well, that's it for now. We've just roughly established our fronts for our trees. And I did find a suitable pot for these for now, at least, that I'm going to put these in. So that's what we'll do next. We'll go ahead and we'll pot them up, and we'll start them on their new journey.